severance to an editor, that first off, that's absolutely unheard of to me at least, alongside finding him another job and like recommending him. However, Turner has disputed these claims to me directly in DM, stating that the $10,000 figure that Mr. Beast was using is actually about the amount that he made altogether while he was with them in salary. Turner stated that with severance he made about $10,000 to $15,000 under Mr. Beast, probably closer to $15,000, and he never made any money from SOAR. From my logic and understanding, that would mean he probably got about $5,000 severance, unless, regardless, which even then, for a YouTube editor, is really a great chunk of change, on top of finding another position to recommend you into. Most YouTube editors don't get any severance at all, so the fact that he got this much is still nuts. All in all, it's just gotten really confusing, At first, I just simply couldn't believe much of anything that Turner had to say because he just had no evidence at all, but at least now he has a little bit of evidence for some things. Most of what he provided, at least in my opinion, doesn't prove anything of what he's saying directly, or it's just circumstantial. However, he does kind of have a point with at least some of these private Twitter tweets. At this point though, I just think Turner approached much of the situation in the wrong regard altogether. He brought out all of this without evidence in the first place, just basically bashing Mr. Beast, and then once everyone had turned against him, he then basically brought out all the evidence, and much of it doesn't really prove anything with any realistic, concrete proof. It's ridiculous. But now, do I believe the whole story? No, I can't, because there isn't enough evidence here to believe it all. But there are parts of it that I can believe. I can believe that the work environment was bad, especially for someone like Turner, who apparently couldn't follow the directions that Mr. Beast wanted him to. I can definitely, because they're paying you to do a job. When they ask you to do a job, you have to do it, or you just quit or get fired. You know what I'm saying? I mean, should they call you names and whatnot? Probably not. They probably shouldn't do that. But I still, for some reason, feel like that there's more to this whole thing that isn't coming out from either one of these sides, maybe even both. I don't know why, but that's just how I feel. I just still can't fully believe Turner just yet, because there's just not enough evidence that's concrete. I'm not saying he's full on making the whole thing up for attention, he just doesn't have enough actual evidence to prove what happened for me to say it happened for sure. When it really comes down to it, I just think that as it stands right now, he just got yelled at and got his feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? And maybe to a certain extent, yeah, it got taken a little bit too far, but I'm gonna wait and see if more comes out from either side in this whole thing before I make like a final opinion. And if nothing else comes out, then, well, there just isn't enough evidence here for me to say Mr. Beast is a horrible person and he's just out here, destroying people's lives when he's, housing people for free, giving them severance pay for editing YouTube videos and things like that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at SubToptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, providing evidence and signing out.
When we think dinosaurs, we tend to think of the animals of the Cretaceous and Jurassic. Movie star dinos like T-Rex, Velociraptor, Stegosaurus. But these creatures wouldn't have had a single cameo were it not for their forebears in the Triassic.
The dark place to most people. Personally, I'd never been on it too much until I had made this video, only being on it like a few times just to kind of see whether or not I could even do it in the first place as a kid. In school, people often asked me if I'd ever been on it, and yeah, enough to really have a good understanding of everything, so that's why I decided really to go through with this video. Many people don't even know that there's levels of the internet that go beyond the internet that they've used their entire lives. Now this is what's known as the surface web, and it only makes up a small fraction of the internet as we know it. The surface web are just the websites that you can access without the passwords or the special browsers and the techniques. Your Googles, your Facebooks, your YouTubes, all these places, they exist on the surface web. Chances are you spend almost all of your time online just pretty much going about on the surface web, but there's actually a few layers